The mortgage moratorium was introduced with good intentions. At the height of the pandemic, millions of Americans were suddenly out of work, businesses were shut down overnight, and families were facing financial uncertainty unlike anything we had seen in generations. The idea was simple: pause mortgage payments, stop foreclosures, and give people time to recover. But today, as a realtor, a lender, and a real estate investor, I can tell you this with absolute clarity. The mortgage moratorium did not solve the problem. It postponed it, magnified it, and in many cases made it worse. Here's why. First, the moratorium created the illusion of affordability. Payments were paused, but the debt did not disappear. Interest continued to accrue. Property taxes and insurance still existed, and for many homeowners, income never fully recovered to pre-pandemic levels. Families were told they were protected, but no one explained what would happen when the protection ended. Many believed the pause was forgiveness. It wasn't. It was a deferral, one that would eventually come due. Second, the moratorium trapped homeowners in homes they could no longer afford. During the pause, rising interest rates quietly changed the landscape. Refinancing became impossible for many. Selling became emotionally and financially harder, and homeowners who might have sold early, before equity was eaten away, were encouraged to wait. By the time the moratorium ended, some homeowners faced ballooned balances, reinstatement demands, loan modifications that increased payments, or silent defaults where people stopped engaging entirely. The safety net became a snare. Third, the moratorium distorted the housing market. Foreclosures didn't disappear. They were frozen. Distressed inventory didn't vanish. It piled up behind the scenes. That artificial freeze inflated home prices, reduced supply, encouraged risky buying behavior, and delayed true price discovery. Instead of allowing the market to adjust gradually, pressure was compressed, like a spring held down too long. And when that pressure releases, the correction is sharper. Fourth, the moratorium shifted risk instead of resolving it. Servicers absorbed losses, investors absorbed uncertainty, local governments faced delayed tax issues, but ultimately the risk landed right back on the homeowner, often years later when options were fewer and stress was higher. This wasn't relief, it was financial can-kicking. And finally, the biggest failure of all, the moratorium replaced education with false reassurance. Homeowners were not given clear roadmaps, they were not taught exit strategies. They were not guided early towards selling, restructuring, or downsizing while equity still existed. Instead, they were told, "Manda, don't worry." And in real estate and finance, Manda, don't worry is often the most expensive advice you can give. The lesson here is not that help was wrong. The lesson is that delaying reality without a long-term plan creates deeper harm. Real stability comes from honest communication, early intervention, sustainable payments, and allowing markets to adjust instead of freezing them. Short-term protection without long-term solutions doesn't protect people. It postpones the pain, and often multiplies it. Thank you.